Oh man, what was better, the new Mandalorian trailer, or the fact that Tom Brady's out of the playoffs and quite possibly out of the league? What is up, everyone? What is going on? My name is Matthew Long. I'm the football boss, and today we are doing wild card breakdown. And for the very first time ever, the Seattle Seahawks are part of it, though. And yeah, we didn't particularly last very long. There were 6 playoff matchups this week, though. Seahawks and 49ers, Chargers and Jaguars, Dolphins and Bills, Giants and Vikings, Ravens and Bengals, and then, of course, the one that just ended a little bit ago, the Cowboys and the Bucks. I'm going to be doing a breakdown analysis of all the games, though, and then we're going to be looking into divisional weekend, though, which is looking pretty good. So, first game, it's the Seahawks and the 49ers, and not really much to say here that I already said. And Seahawks defense did not show up. We looked pretty bad. Brock Purdy looked pretty good. How am I still single? And yeah, the defense held its own. It did struggle to cover DK Metcalf a little bit, which makes me a little curious. What's going to happen when they play CeeDee Lamb next week? But just in general, it kind of was what I was expecting, though. I'm still excited about the Seahawks team. I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do next year, especially if we make some offseason moves to help the defense. Re-sign Geno, though. Maybe help out the offensive line a little bit more, though. But either way, I'm pretty excited. Our next game was the Chargers and Jaguars, and this was one of the better games of the week, though. Actually, technically, of the 6 games, we had 4 games that were one possession, which that's pretty good, though. It's really disappointing when like all the games are like blowouts, though. But this one, woof, what a choke. Trevor Lawrence looked like dog shit in the first half. He threw 4 interceptions. I think he went like 3 for 16 at first, though. I mean, it was bad. And Brandon Staley's supposed to be a defensive head coach. Okay, well, technically he is. He just doesn't show it with the Chargers, though. Blows a 27-point lead. Joey Bosa making a pretty mind-numbing mistake that led the Jaguars to go for 2. And I don't have Twitter. I will get it eventually. Yeah, apparently they're exploding. They want him fired. And honestly, I don't blame him. I was not impressed about what Brandon Staley did last year, though. I wasn't like, oh, fire him. But I was like, he was mediocre, took some risks that didn't work, but I was like, he can't do that again. And once again, he did that once again last week. He did that against the Jaguars. And of course, the week earlier, he played some of the stars, and Mike Williams got injured, though. And because that didn't play, would he have made a difference? I mean, Mike Williams doesn't play defense, so honestly, I mean, either way, we're never going to know. But just really, there was just some bad play calling in the fourth quarter, though. Some really mind-numbing decisions. And so Chargers fans who want Sean Payton, honestly, since you made the playoffs, though, probably not a bad idea to give up a first for him. If I were the Chargers organization, I definitely would. But even if they don't do that, yeah, Staley, he's on the hot seat, and he really needs to get his game going. Our next matchup was the Dolphins and the Bills, and yeah, honestly, I thought this game was going to be a blowout. Yeah, if it was 45-7, I would not have been surprised, except it was 34-31. That game was actually kind of terrifying. And the thing about the Bills is, which I mean, the Bills are the team I'm rooting for now because the Seahawks are out. They are a very frustrating team because their defense is very good. It's very talented. Their defense did play very well against the Dolphins, I thought. And Josh Allen, he can make some fantastic throws. He can make some great plays. And he once again did that against the Miami Dolphins. But he can also, have some very like mind-numbing turnovers, though. Turnovers that got the Dolphins back into the game, and it was able to make it close. He had the fumble return touchdown. He had the 2 interceptions, though. Like, not good. And with them playing the Bengals next week, That's going to be a very interesting matchup to see what Josh Allen is going to show up, though. Is it going to be the one that's going to ball out all the time? Or is it going to be the one that's going to have some some devastating turnovers, though? And eventually those turnovers are really going to bite a team in the butt, though. And, I mean, they're lucky to get the win, though. But if they can barely beat the Dolphins, it makes me a little nervous about what's going to happen next week against the Bengals. But he can also be red hot too, like a team you don't want to play. And then of course they're playing with, they're playing with heart though. They're gonna play for they're playing for Damar Hamlin. Damar Hamlin definitely, thankfully, is getting better though. He was actually at the game. His total draft almost up to $9 million, which is just mind blowing. So yeah, Buffalo all the way this time, and then Seattle can win it next year. Our next game is the Giants and the Vikings, and yeah, holy crap, Daniel Jones apparently is good. Yeah, he had a phenomenal game. I mean, it's probably mostly because the Vikings defense is just terrible. And this honestly was one of the better games of the week, though. This was definitely a game that I was pretty excited for. I don't think the Giants are a very good team. I just think Brian Dable has just willed them to victory. But honestly, Daniel Jones balled out. He played very well. And the Vikings, I mean, they really just shot themselves in the foot multiple times. I mean, they couldn't get. They couldn't get a couple drives going in the second quarter for some reason. They couldn't get the ball. Justin Jefferson. I don't know if that was Kirk Cousins just playing his problems in the big game, but really, it was the 3 yard passing play on fourth down that I'm just like, why? Because you need 8 yards, not 3, and the defender is right by him, so he's getting tackled right away. Like, why? Why are you doing that? Why are you making those kind of throws? And it's not like he was getting pressured right off the bat. And honestly, like, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, with teams, like even teams that I hate though. I'm just like, why would you do that? I'm like, that's not gonna work. Like, like if you need like a helmet, they like if it's like the final play of the game and you're on like the 30 yard line, like 30 yards away from the end zone, you're not gonna throw a little like 2 yard pass play and be like, oh, here we go. Ooh. Oh, we got 4 yards. Oh, man, clock ran out. Of course you're not gonna do that. Everyone's gonna be mad at you about that. That's what that play was, and it cost the Vikings their season. And since they've been such an up and down team, like I'm like, why? Makes no sense. Final game, Ravens and Bengals. I didn't really watch much of this game. Wasn't too interested. If Lamar Jackson was playing, I would have been interested. And yeah, the Ravens just once again just had some big time miscues. Of course, the 98-yard fumble return for touchdown, being super conservative and taking their time on that final drive. Like, what the heck was that? I mean, Greg Roman is not a good offensive coordinator, and honestly, kind of after that, I think he deserves to be fired. I have no idea if he is though, but yeah, the Bengals didn't play their best though, but I still think they are a very dangerous team in the postseason. Though, of course, Joe Burrow's a great quarterback. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins are really good, and we finally get the okay. Well, it's technically a rematch, but it's technically not though. But yeah, that Bills and Bengals game, yeah, that should be a pretty darn good game. And then, of course, the game just ended a little bit ago. Cowboys and Buccaneers. Tom Brady's not in the playoffs. I mean, Cowboy fans are just going to be irate, though, but have fun against San Francisco. I will be rooting for you guys against the Cowboys, and then you can lose against the Eagles or Giants, whatever. Just please don't go to the Super Bowl. Please beat the Niners, but yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, the Cowboys really destroyed the Buccaneers. The score says 31-14, so I was like, it's not as bad, but Dak, oh man, he had a fantastic game. Didn't turn the ball over. He had time in the pocket though. 4 touchdowns plus a rushing touchdown. Had an amazing throw to Michael Gallup for his third touchdown, though. And that defense just pressured Brady all day. The secondary was very good. And really, after that red zone interception, that was really where the game just went downhill for the Buccaneers. And I know there's some questions about like the Cowboys with Brett Maher because man, he missed 4 extra points. That's not good. And so I'm not sure what they're gonna do about that. But yeah, the Cowboys, they're a team that is just so hot and cold. I mean they looked terrible against the Commanders. I didn't even watch that game. Like they lost 26-6 against Sam Howell. That was his first start. Like, not good. Of course, Dak Prescott's had a lot of turnovers, though, and but then meanwhile, some of these Cowboys wins, they blew out the Vikings. They put 33 up against the Colts. Like, honestly, that honestly that fourth quarter was like when Arya killed Sir Marin. I mean, just they push him down, comes up and just keeps stabbing a dead body. Like it's like, geez, this is a bit overkill. And but then they like barely beat the Texans. They beat the Eagles in a high scoring shootout. Dak looks great in that game. He comes up clutch in that game. And the Cowboys, if they're on their game, they're not an easy out. And if they bring their A game to San Francisco, though, that game should be absolutely incredible. Of course, the Cowboys and 49ers have a long time rivalry, though. But it just depends on what Cowboys team shows up. And since Brock Purdy and the defense looked really good, um, against the Seahawks, though, if that Cowboys defense doesn't show up and Dak's a bit iffy, though, then that game's probably going to get out of hand very quickly, though. But, so yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very interesting divisional weekend, though. We have the Jaguars and the Chiefs, Giants and Eagles, Bengals and Bills, and then, of course, the Cowboys and 49ers. That's exactly how the games will slot in, though. Two on Saturday, two on Sunday. Yeah, Jaguars and Chiefs. I don't think the Chiefs are gonna like blow them out like 44-10, something like that. But I would not be surprised if Kansas City wins about like by like 17 points. So I think this is gonna be a pretty easy win for the Chiefs, though. I mean, but hey, if you're the Jaguars, though, honestly, I would be excited, though. I mean, the Christian Kirk side, he actually turned out to be pretty good. It was clearly obvious that Urban Meyer was the big problem, though. Doug Peterson is definitely the guy there. Yeah, he got the money. I think he got the draft capital, though. And I mean, Texans, they're probably going to be awful next year. Titans, I don't think they're getting out of the Tannehill contract, so I don't even think they're going to be very good next year. The Colts, yeah, I have no idea what they're going to do. I mean, they're going to go quarterback, but I still don't know what they're going to do. Honestly, until further notice, I think this division is Jacksonville's for the taking, though. And if they can do the right thing, though, Jacksonville might be in good shape. Wait, did I say that correctly? Jacksonville is in good shape. Huh, that was kind of weird. But yeah, but to me, the Chiefs are clearly the better team, though. Chiefs are basically the Chiefs, so I don't think they're gonna have much of a problem. Your next game, the Giants and the Eagles on Saturday night. This is a very interesting game because just as I said, Daniel Jones, man, he looked good against the Vikings. Though the Eagles are definitely a better team, though. But what if Daniel Jones is going to bring that A game that he brought, though? It could be a close game. But another question is how healthy is Jalen Hurts? Though, of course, he had that knee injury, though, and then since Gardner Minshew was not the best, though, you definitely want to make sure Jalen Hurts is in there. But honestly, if I had to say anything, I would say Eagles win. Of course, then you got the game of the week, the one that Jim Nantz and Tony Romo are getting. It's great that they get the good games, though. Of course, you have the Bengals at the Bills. And of course, this was supposed to be a rematch, but of course the game got canceled because of DeMar Hamlin's injury. Though it's most likely not going to get canceled this time, though. But honestly, this game should be absolutely amazing, though. You have two high-powered offenses, though. Two defenses that, okay, well, the Bills' defense isn't underrated. It's really good, but the Bengals' defense, I think, is underrated, though. These two teams are like so similar in like multiple different ways, though. I feel like some people would say the Bengals might win, though, but just as I said about the Bills, they are a very dangerous team, especially on offense, though. Defense as well, if Josh Allen can cut back on the turnover. So honestly, that game should be absolutely incredible. And then you have the Cowboys and 49ers, which that's a game that's going to be very interesting because you have a Cowboys team that is very talented. Just as I said, their offense looked good, their defense looked amazing though, and Brock Purdy, he's only had one star, and it was against the Seattle Seahawks, and we're kind of a mad team. So while he did look good, it would definitely be nice to see what he could do against a better team. And then plus he hasn't entirely had a lot of competition. So far, I mean there was the Raiders game, but it was the Raiders and they usually choke away the games this year. Except against us. But honestly, I think that could be another great game if the Cowboys bring their A game, though. Just like I said, when the Cowboys are on their game, they are really hard to stop. And if they bring their A game, 49ers bring their game, that honestly could also be the game of the week, too. So I'm definitely more excited about um, the last two games more than the first two, though. But honestly, if I had to pick, I would probably say we're probably getting in our Bills and Chiefs Super Bowl championship in Atlanta. And then, of course, the Eagles and the 49ers, though, which I think that could also be an absolutely incredible game. But honestly, whoever wins against the 49ers and Cowboys, I'm just going to root for whoever doesn't play. So, yeah, I kind of need the Eagles to win because they're probably the only team that could defeat them, though. But, but hey, that's where we're at. That's where we're at right now. It's a shame the Seahawks couldn't make it very far, but hey, I'm hyped for the rest of the playoffs. I'm hyped for our future though, and please do send you. Yeah, you can follow me on Facebook, MATTHEWLEILEININGER though, and I will see you for a divisional round weekend next week. See you guys. Bye.